What's going on, Power Ranger fans? Here's my review for episode 6 and episode 7 of Dino Fury. I know I'm a little bit behind, haven't got a chance to review these episodes, so I'll do the two of them in this video here. So let's do episode 6 first, which is Superstition Strikes. The basic plot for this episode is Amelia thinks she is cursed with bad luck and is reluctant to help the Rangers, afraid she will cause more harm. Amelia learns the truth about luck when monsters attack the base. Yeah, this episode was basically centered around Amelia, the Pink Ranger. She walks underneath a ladder, she thinks she has bad luck, and I thought it was funny because Ollie's trying to make fun of her saying, you don't believe in that stuff, do you? So yeah, that's what she's dealing with, and she thinks everything that she does is going to be a bad thing for the Power Rangers, so she tries to stay away from everyone. And the episode opens kind of with civilians running away being scared, shouting monster, monster. The Power Rangers are called, they appear, they run down to see who it is, and Amelia's quick to it. She knows that it's her papa, her grandfather, who kind of got in a bit of a mess. He has a few buckets on his head and mop and foam and stuff like that, and she washes it all down and she sees that it's her grandfather, and he of course is working on the side of the buildings cleaning the windows, and the Power Rangers said they'd help him, and Amelia walks underneath the ladder, so that's why she thinks that she has bad luck. Then she cuts the sleeve of her t-shirt as well, and she's like, look, I'm just going to go home and change, I'm going to stay away from you guys. And all the rest of the guys are kind of telling her, you don't really believe in that stuff, do you? It's not true. And I thought it was funny with Zato as well, because he's new to our world. He was like, what, bad luck? Walking underneath a ladder? So that was cool. But Amelia on her way home comes across a sport beast, and it's an interesting one called Smash Stone. And you know what? I do like how every single week we have a new monster, but we also have recurring monsters like Mucus, like Boom Tower, Void Knight. So I think that's pretty cool. But a big kind of fight happens there, and Amelia is trying to take on the monster, but her morpher gets damaged. Mucus arrives, takes her damaged morpher, and now Amelia can't power up. She can't be a Power Ranger. The rest of the Power Rangers come and are able to fight off Smash Stone until he goes away. But Smash Stone was actually a bit of a threat. He caused a bit of a problem for the Power Rangers, and he actually had a cool kind of like a gun where he's able to shoot kind of powers out, and it was kind of it was giving the Power Rangers a tough time. But of course he goes off. Yeah, so the Rangers are able to stop Smash Stone. Well, not kind of, because Smash Stone gives them a bit of a beating, and he goes off then. And Amelia, of course, is devastated because she can't be the Pink Ranger anymore. She lost her morpher. She feels like she let the team down. And Zato comes up with an idea that Zolon might be able to create a new morpher for Amelia. So he sends a message to Zolon to make a new morpher. And Amelia just wants to stay back, but Zato says, no, Zolon would need some help, so Amelia goes to the Power Ranger base to help Zolon to create this new morpher for herself, while the Power Rangers have to deal with Smash Stone. Now, as I've said, Void Knight is my favourite character. I actually love him so much. I think he's a great villain. I love the costume he has, his voice, everything about him is just badass. And I think he should be in every single episode. But as I said, I like how we have Void Knight, but we also have Mucus, we also have Boom Tower. These are recurring monsters who are in every single episode. And then you have another monster that comes in like a Smash Stone, who is beaten by the Power Rangers. And in previous seasons of the Power Rangers, you would have every single week, a new monster, But I like how Void Knight is a presence and he has a plan. He has an overall plan to defeat the Power Rangers, and he's trying to build up enough energy for whatever device he's going to use. But he's actually a bit happy in this episode because Mucus brings the Power Morpher to Void Knight. Void Knight has an idea. Okay, now I'm able to get into the Power Ranger base because there's a force field around the Power Ranger base, the headquarters underground, because there's a thing that's able to stop the monsters from getting in there. Only the Power Rangers can get in. So Void Knight comes up with a plan and thinks, oh, if I can fix this morpher, then I can get into the Power Ranger base, get all the sporks, and then create my army of beasts. So that's what his plan is. And then I don't know if it's Mucus or Boom Tower goes, but what about the rest of the Rangers? Like, they're going to be there as well. And Void Knight goes, no, they won't, because Smash Stone is going to go and cause a diversion, while Boom Tower, when we fix the morpher, you're going to go in there, you're going to get all the sporks, there'll be no Power Rangers in there, so it'll be very easy for you. And that's the plan. Smash Stone is off fighting the Power Rangers, but Void Knight wasn't taking into account that the Pink Ranger, Amelia, would be there as well. But by the time that Boom Tower gets to the Power Ranger headquarters underground, Zolon has made a new morpher for Amelia, so Amelia is able to transform into the Pink Ranger again, and a nice little fight action sequence takes place with Boom Tower in the Power Ranger headquarters, and that was pretty cool. And then they kind of teleport to where the rest of the Rangers are, and they're fighting Smash Stone. So there was a nice little fight going on there between those characters. And then, of course, a big Zord fight happens then. We've got the Power Rangers, and then we've got them against a massive Smash Stone. So Smash Stone is okay in this episode. Not my favorite kind of monster that they've had so far. But Void Knight's plan doesn't work that much, and by the end of the episode, the Power Rangers are able to get the spork as well of Smash Stone. So I thought the Zord fight was pretty cool. Yeah, it was okay. And I like how in each episode, the Zord isn't the same. It's changing. This time I think that Amelia's pink Zord was kind of the head of it. So in each episode, it kind of depends which kind of character is the main focus. This week it was Amelia, so the Pink Ranger. So, the Zord was kind of taking the shape of her, the Pink Ranger. So I thought it was pretty cool, and they're able to defeat Smash Stone. And look, the basic kind of learning curve here is to think positive. When you're going through something bad, think positive. I thought that was pretty good, So Amelia is able to realize by the end of the episode that she doesn't have bad luck. It's just how she reacts to the bad luck, So I thought that was pretty cool. Nice little cheesy moment there at the end with Ollie, who is the one who didn't believe in bad luck, and then he gets a lot of bad luck at the one time. He kind of drops water on his head, and then he crashes into all these kind of boxes and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a bit cheesy. So the rest of the Rangers didn't really have much to do in this episode. They had the fight sequences, of course, and that's about it. It was basically an Amelia episode, but I liked how Void Knight had a plan, a really good plan actually. I'll distract the Power Rangers over here with Smash Stone, while Boom Tower goes in to get the rest of the Spork beasts. So that was cool. Mucus is there, she's a recurring character as well. So yeah, overall the episode was okay. Not my favourite episode of the season so far, but it was still pretty good. So that's my review for episode 6, guys. Superstition Strikes. What did you think of it? Let me know below. Now let's get on to episode 7. Let's move on to episode 7, titled Stego Search. This one is basically, the plot is the warden takes away Javi's key star, putting him in a bad mood, which he refuses to explain to the team. Javi is forced to open up about his problems in order to find his Zord. So basically, it's a Javi episode, Black Ranger episode, and yeah, the warden takes his key star away from him, puts him in a bad mood, and his dad was a bit kind of a douche in this one. He was a bit mean. He was telling him he couldn't play the Keystar instruments, spend money on stuff, and also he blamed him because of Izzy getting hurt by one of the Spork monsters. So yeah, he went through a tough time in this episode, but it was more of a focused episode for him. And I bet you this storyline with his dad will carry on in the next few episodes, because it wasn't really resolved in this one, but it's basically about him and to find his Zord. And I did appreciate this season of the Power Rangers that not all the Power Rangers were together. We started off with 3, Zeto, Ollie and Amelia, and then we built up to getting 2 more, and even when we got the 2 more Power Rangers, Izzy and Javi, they didn't have their Zords. Izzy was able to get her Zord first, but Javi still doesn't have his. So basically they wanted to find his Zord, and right in the episode they do, of course. And this episode was much better than the last one. A lot more action and stuff like that. And I thought it was cool because Boom Tower is kind of getting annoyed at Void Knight because he's always in his kind of private room, and Void Knight is coming up with his own plan. He has a long-term plan as well, which I like. And as I've said, Void Knight's absolutely brilliant. But Boom Tower is like, look, I'm powerful, I'm strong, I can take on the Power Rangers. So he takes this kind of energy that Void Knight's been building up of all the Sporks, and Void Knight is waiting till he has enough energy to use to defeat the Power Rangers. But Boom Tower's like, no, I'm just going to take all of the Spork power right now, give it to myself so I can be powerful and defeat the Power Rangers. And Mucus is like, don't do that, don't do it. Void Knight's going to be pretty annoyed. But Boom Tower doesn't listen, he gets all the power and he goes to fight the Power Rangers. But before that happens, Javi goes off, he's a bit annoyed, he's kind of snappy towards the other Power Rangers because of what's going on. He didn't tell the Power Rangers what's going on with his dad, and he goes off to the park, and then Izzy goes, I'll talk to him, and she follows him, and Izzy's sitting down trying to cheer him up and stuff and trying to figure out what's going on. But while they're talking, of course, Boom Tower appears, Mucus appears, and also some of the henchmen appear as well. So they have to suit up. Black Ranger and the Green Ranger, brother and sister, have to take on Boom Tower. They call in the rest of the Rangers. Zeto comes, saves the day. And this kind of stuff they have on their shoulders and their arms. I'm not a big fan of them because they kind of look out of place. I don't really like them that much, but it is what it is. And they fight Boom Tower and the henchmen. And Boomtower's actually, he's doing pretty well because he's a lot more powerful in this episode because he got the other Spork beast powers and he's able to take them on. He actually hurts Izzy as well, and he hurts the other Rangers. He hurts them enough where they're falling down and they kind of on power, so they're not in their Power Ranger suits anymore. And just like, I don't know, because Void Knight, of course, wants to defeat the Power Rangers. And Boomtower was doing a pretty good job at defeating the Power Rangers. And then Void Knight shows up. He says, Mucus, Boomtower, come with me. And they leave just when they're about to defeat the Power Rangers. And then Void Knight's like, henchmen, get them. Like, Boomtower was doing pretty well. He was beating them in his own right, you know, so maybe Void Knight should have stepped aside and let Boomtower take over on this occasion because he was doing pretty damn well. But Izzy got hurt and Javi had to look after Izzy. The rest of the Power Rangers went to go fight Boomtower, and then he defeated them as well. And he went away with Void Knight and Mucus, and defeated the henchmen pretty easily too. So yeah, and then Izzy and Javi's father shows up. He's like, "What happened?" Javi's like, "Oh, one of the monsters attacked us and stuff like that." But I was able to stop it. I was able to get it to go away. But then his father's very cruel and very kind of, he's very hard on Javi, and I'm sure Javi is the older brother. But he's still very hard on him. And the warden, of course, who was over all the parks and stuff, is like, this is your fault. How come you're fine, but your sister's not? So that was a bit harsh there straight away. And they go off then to the hospital to see if Izzy is okay. So, yeah. And then they go back to the Power Ranger base. And then Ollie's actually smart enough to think, what were you doing when the energy appeared for the Zord? And what Javi was doing was playing his instrument in the park. He was playing his guitar, and that's when the kind of big energy happened where Zolan was able to see, oh, there's a Zord here, but it wasn't long enough for her to see exactly where it is. So Ollie's like, play an instrument, play music, maybe it's attracted to your music. So Ollie idea actually works. Javi plays the tin whistle, a green tin whistle as well, and they're able to locate exactly where the sword is. And I thought it was a nice reference actually towards Tommy, the original Green Ranger, from the Mighty Morphin series, because he used the kind of whistle for his sword to appear. So I thought it was a cool Easter egg right there. I thought it was awesome. And then Zolan was able to see exactly where it was. So then while Ollie, while Amelia and while Zeta are off taking on Boomtower, who's causing some destruction in the city, Izzy, of course, is in the hospital, still hurt. Javi goes to try and find his Zord because his Zord will be helpful towards the Power Rangers and their fight with Boomtower. So yeah, they're fighting the three Power Rangers, the red, the green, the red, the blue, and the pink go to Boomtower, and they're kind of taken aback because he's big now and they have to get big as well. They have to get their Zords out, so they call their swords and they're taking on Boomtower. Boomtower is very powerful, so they can't really defeat him right now. But of course, Javi is able to locate exactly where his sword is by playing the whistle. It comes out, he has it. It's good. He's able to join the rest of the Power Rangers in their fight against Boomtower. And I like, as I said earlier on in the video, I like how the Zords, they change shape. So, in the previous one, it was the Pink Ranger. In the previous other one, it was the Green Ranger. Stuff like that, where the Zord takes over and, the head of the Zord is, a different colour. I think that's pretty cool. And the black actually suited the Zord a lot here. The red and the black, I thought it was pretty cool. And it was able to end up to defeat Boomtower. So that was good. So this episode was pretty good. It was better than the last one. I just you do feel sorry for Javi dealing with that kind of stuff with his father. He just wants to do his own thing. He wants to play some music. He's very good at it. In the park, when he was playing at the start of the episode, people were dancing around, they were enjoying it and stuff like that, and so I just thought I did feel bad for him, but by the end of the episode he's able to talk to his friends more about his personal problems. I think that's what the main story of this episode is if you've any problems, don't be afraid to go to your friends, because some people get on with their parents, some people don't, and then you have nobody to talk to. If you're open up and you talk to your friends, then that can be a big beneficial help towards you and your mental health and stuff like that. So I think that's pretty good. So yeah, I did like that. But Jane and J-Borg are in this episode as well, and yeah, look, I'm not the biggest fan of them. I'm not. They're very cheesy, but of course it's a children's show, and I think they're good for that kind of format. Their comedy is unique to them, and I think a lot of kids would like that. For me personally, I don't like it too much, but I'm warming up to them. They're fine. I think the actress that actually plays J-Borg is doing an amazing job playing the robots. That's pretty good. And at the start of the episode, they're dancing along to Javi's music, and then Jane starts to do a rap, and then at the end of the episode where Javi gets a guitar back because the rest of the Power Rangers have put all their money together to get him on, which I thought was pretty sweet as well. He plays it inside Buzz Blast, and everyone's dancing around, and then Jane comes over and goes, wait, because she's the boss, and everyone's not working, just dancing around. She goes, I love dancing, and she goes and dances with the rest of them. And then if you actually look at Zato in the background, of course, he's new to the planet. You know, he's not used to our kind of fashions and stuff like that, what we do, and you just see him dancing like this in the background. I thought it was pretty funny. So yeah, so that was this episode 7. That was my review for episode 6 and 7, guys. Episode 6 was okay. It was more of a filler comedic relief kind of episode. This one was more kind of pushing the story forward because we got the other Zord, the Black Sword. Javi had some character development there as well. So yeah, and the action was pretty good in this one too. And Boomtower was a pretty convincing villain as well, I thought. But what's it going to leave left for Void Knight and his power to take on the Power Rangers in the future? His plan is kind of a bit weakened right now. We'll have to see in the next few episodes. But guys, what was your thoughts on episode 6 and 7 of Power Rangers Dino Fury? I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Give a like, comment, subscribe. Come follow me on all the social medias. That stuff is in the end credits of the video. Movies That Matter on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, guys. Join me next time for my review of the next episode of Dino Fury. Hope you enjoyed and have fun and have a good day.